Welcome to this video. Today I have a guest I was looking forward to very much. He's the current German Brewers Cup Champion. Welcome, Urs Rotzinger.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you that you came. And in this interview, we will be talking about you. We will be talking about the Brewers Cup. So it's also interesting for people that are interested in participating in a Brewers Cup championship. But we will also be talking about the Kaffelogic Nano 7 because you roasted your champion coffees on this machine. But before we go into those topics, I would like to start with you, and maybe you can tell the people who you are and what has been your way in coffee, what has brought you then at the end to the Brewers Cup.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm Urs. I'm 33 years old. I come from Freiburg, and I started my coffee journey probably just like every other home brewer. With an espresso machine at home, learning that coffee can taste fruity, that coffee is not equals coffee, so all the different tastes that coffee can have just fascinated me, and I started to brew at home. I got into some courses by the Kaffeemacher from Basel, and this brought me to a coffee farm training in Nicaragua. And there I met Nadia and June. They brought me into competing at coffee championships like the Brewers Cup. So it was quite a steep journey, but I started as a home enthusiast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still remember which was like your first specialty coffee, or because somehow you had to start, you started to love this other kind of coffee than we are usually used to drink? Yeah. Do you still have an experience there? Or?
I think so, yeah. I got into coffee quite late, but still I started with a gas station coffee, a very roasty, watery coffee. Yeah. Then I tried the classic cliche Ethiopian natural at Coffee Nerd in Heidelberg with a friend, and it just tasted unbelievably acidic. Also blueberry juice, lemon juice, unbearably acidic for me, but so fascinating that I thought there is something there. I have to try more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you started to brew at home and find all these ways. Went to the farm training with the Kaffeemacher.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, then you said that Nadia and June were giving you the idea of participating at the Brewers Cup. Still, then there is quite a way from the decision to take part of a Brewers Cup until you are there. And you tell a little bit how you prepared, what was your way to get there, what was the coffee that you choose, and just a bit like the way to your first Brewers Cup competition.
Yeah, of course. So being in Nicaragua, the contact to Claudia Lobo of Brida Sul was there. So it was unquestionable that I would use her coffee. And the Kaffeemacher had like 7 kilos of I think it was a Parainema from Finca Los Suyates, from Mario Gonzalez. And I wanted to do this presentation all about gratitude and how we can be grateful to have this luxury of a cup of coffee, while this coffee beans have been in so many hands before it reaches its destination, or the cup that we drink. So my topic was quite clear. It was about connection to the producers and about gratitude. I learned how to roast for that with an Aillio Bullet first, and try to make it all on my own to be completely in control over all the variables, and if I would make mistakes, it would be completely on my own. That was important for me at that time. And it was quite an intense process to get the coffee right out of the roaster, how I liked it to be. And I chose to brew it in French presses to make it very basic. So in the focus there should be the message of gratitude and not really the fancy, funky coffee flavor, which could be shown on the score sheet. I didn't score so many points, but it was an amazing experience. The judges gave me great personal feedback and what I could do better. And then, yeah, that was quite a good journey, a good learning to just try that, make it basic, not bend the rules too much, but stay within time, stay within my limits and space. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's really an important topic because the coffee producers, they're doing so much for us. They're producing all those flavors in the coffees, so to give them great thankfulness. You mentioned that, but beside of that, there were some technical or just some requirements that you didn't, so things you didn't do, so that didn't brought you to the top of the competitors. Because, but then in the second year you went, you were second, like runner-up, and the third year you participated, you then even won the German Brewers Cup. And maybe you can tell a little bit what was the way from the first experience to the other two Brewers Cup, and the end also to the one where you won, and then maybe what you learned on this way, what you made different. Just to share a bit the learnings, because maybe there is some people watching this video who are considering participating as well.
Yeah. First of all, I can definitely recommend participating. If you're motivated enough, if you have the passion for coffee and want to try a competition, do so. The first learning was, of course, the cup connection. That was the feedback the judges gave me in the first year. They liked the presentation. They liked the overall things I did on stage, just the cup connection wasn't there. So in Brewers Cup, it's important to connect all the phrases, all the information you give to the judges about the coffee to the experience, to the flavor, to the mouthfeel, anything that the judges can see, can taste, can feel, can smell in the cup. So a pure information like I chose 15 grams of coffee to 250 grams of water is completely senseless to the judges if I don't connect it. They will ask themselves, why is this information important for me now? So I have to have an additional phrase like, with 15 grams, I have the perfect balance of sweetness and acidity. With 16 grams, it gets too bitter. With 14 grams, it may get too watery, for example. So I speak about the reason why I chose the 15 grams, why they can taste what I did. I chose this water because you will find this in the cup using this water, for example. That was a great learning. That elevates the experience from just information about the coffee. Like elevation, where the coffee was grown, is a zero info. It's nice to know, it's nerdy to know that, but it's not really, it doesn't really have a sense for the experience in the cup. But you could connect it if you say the higher the coffee is grown, the slower and the denser the bean grows, which makes the acidity very complex, for example. So you see, highly grown, complex acidity. That's a direct perception in the cup that you can feel. And the second great learning I had over the 3 years of competing was trusting myself, which is very hard, especially for a home brewer. I'm sure somebody can connect to that feeling. Trusting your own perception and your own taste is very important. First of all, as a home brewer, there's nothing more important than a tasty coffee for yourself. So you don't have to brew recipes just because famous YouTubers tell you if they're not fitting for you. So anything you like should be of highest importance for yourself, obviously. And also in competitions, you should go for your own preference and see how the judges' feedback will talk about your own preference. But it would never feel right to brew for the judges instead of how you trust your own perception of the coffee or your own taste preference. So I would definitely recommend trusting your own instinct, trusting your own perception and your own flavor preference.
Yeah. Interesting. And can you also tell what kind of coffee you used for the German Brewers Cup then this year?
Yeah, so I used Nicaragua coffee for all the 3 Brewers Cups from Brida Sul in Nicaragua because I'm friends with Claudia Lobo and she had this wonderful coffees for me. This year I chose a Geisha variety from Finca El Paraíso from Hipólito Acuña. And Claudia brought this raw coffee in her backpack and gave it to me in Geneva, which is very nice. And she sent me some samples, and out of all the samples, they were all very tasty. This Geisha had the highest describability, I would say. So there was a coffee that I personally liked better in terms of brewing it for myself at home, but this nice flavor was very hard to describe. I still cannot tell you it's something floral, something sweet, something of a baked cake, but I cannot put it into words, which is very important for Brewers Cup. So this is why I chose this Geisha. It was very describable. It had always those chocolatey characters in all temperature stages. It was mandarin orange citrusy. It was floral, hibiscus, rosy floral. So it was repeatably describable, which is very important for a Brewers Cup coffee. And of course, it was from the only coffee producer I knew at that time, which was a wonderful connection and important for me.
Beautiful. And then you decided to roast it yourself, and to roast it on the Kaffelogic Nano 7. So first of all, why did you want to roast the coffee yourself? And then why did you choose this machine for it?
I chose to roast it myself. First of all, I wanted to have the control over the variables. It would be way more organization if I would ask a roastery to maybe roast the coffee in more batches, less batches, 5 and 7 and 9 days before the competition. I could just do that on my own in my home. That's perfect with the Kaffelogic Nano. I plugged it in my room, in the kitchen, on the backyard. It's just very portable. Also, it was a game changer to... first of all, also roasting myself gave me this freedom of making the mistakes myself. I would not have liked to have the roasting be a weakness of my performance and then telling the roasters maybe, I mean, I performed well, but your coffee was not on point. Even having the thought would not feel nice. So I wanted to make all the mistakes I could make. I wanted to make them on my own. That was part of the decision. And also changing from Aillio Bullet drum roaster to this small sample roaster was a real game changer in terms of batch size. I did those in batches of 90 grams. So I could have with 5 to 7 kilos of raw coffee. I have so many tries. I can make quite some mistakes, taste them, find my flavor preference, find the roasting preference. If you roast in small batches, you can just try so many different things, which is amazing for coffee competitions, which is amazing if you don't want to waste too much coffee. I could still brew all the coffee I produce at home. I could taste it and drink it myself, which is close to impossible. If you roast 1 kilo of coffee in one day, it's almost impossible to drink that on your own. So loads of advantages and a real game changer for a coffee competition.
But then still you had to find the right profile. And how did you do that? How did you find the profile that at the end brought you to the Champions title?
I tried quite some profiles that I really did not like. I liked some flavors in the cupping profile that the Kaffelogic Nano has. And then I found that Carlos Medina, the World Brewers Cup Champion of Chile.
You roasted also on the Kaffelogic Nano.
Yes, and he had this profile open source online. I downloaded this profile, I tried it, and I liked it best so far out of all the profiles. But it did not have, I do not quite remember what it was, but it I had the feeling that I could maybe find a profile right in between the cupping roasting curve and Carlos Medina Sidra profile. if you have this this application, this program on the computer, you can just drag and drop the roasting curve. You have unlimited freedom in choosing a roast profile.
Yeah.
So I just dragged and dropped the two curves into one.
Yeah.
Tried that, and in fact, it did taste the best so far. It was just trial and error.
Yeah.
Which 1 year ago was in fact the topic of my presentation.
Yeah.
Trial and error, because I did not know what to do. So I just took extremes, found my preference, and then went with this. Just the same with the roast profile, which is possible with this program. So yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Before, you also told me that it took a couple of days until your coffee came to the perfect expression. At the beginning, you said you were a bit disappointed by the roast. Can you tell a little bit about that? How this?
Interestingly, for cupping, the coffee is quite ready directly after roasting. So you can get an idea of the coffee. You can maybe cancel out, in the back of your brain, cancel out a bit of the CO2 that is still in the coffee. But if you brew it directly after grinding, I found that after 10 to 12 days only, the coffee gets sweet. Before, there's just no sweetness somehow, which amazes me always, that it changes so much just because of the aging after roasting. So yeah, I was quite unhappy for 10 days straight and thought I don't have the right coffee for the competition. And then the sweetness popped up. And then there was another learning, because in Brewers Cup you have enough stress on stage, so I chose not to grind my coffee freshly on stage, but in the preparation time, 30 minutes before presenting. So if you choose to grind your coffee 30 minutes before brewing, then 5 days after roasting is the peak for this coffee. So for anybody at home that cannot wait to taste this coffee, and it's very, very fresh, I can recommend grinding the coffee and letting it sit for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, up to 40 minutes, and just brew it then, for it to degas, but also kind of developing some sweetness.
You had it then open, or they were covered?
At home, if I do it at home, I have, for example, a hand grinder that has this case. I just grind it and leave it like that. But for presentation, I had 3 little boxes to just seal it. It wasn't really air sealed, but good enough.
Okay, interesting. Thanks for sharing. By the way, would you mind sharing your competition profile also with the people?
Yes,
I know lots of people.
Yeah, I would be glad. Yeah, please try it and tell me what I could do better. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, we will put it then, the link in the description, so that people can download the profile, try it for themselves. It was, as I said, a Carbonic Maceration Gesha from Nicaragua.
Yeah.
And so now, I mean, you had kind of your way. You said you were interested in specialty coffee. You then went to competition. You learned a lot. You tried roasting on this machine. You brewed at home. And if people want to do the same, maybe they're like interested in coffee, they want to learn more about coffee, maybe even go to competitions, would you recommend the same way, or were there some like steps in between where you said you had the biggest learnings, or you have like recommendations that you can give to those people who are a similar interest or are thinking about a similar way?
So the best decision for me was to definitely just go for it. If you're interested, if you're passionate about a thing, just go for it and try it. You will make loads of mistakes, and those mistakes were what brought me to some growth and to some education. Also, the contact to people is so important. So the unlimited sources on the internet, of course, but if I do a cupping at home, for example, it's so hard to differentiate between different flavors, talk about acidity with myself. So whenever I have the opportunity to brew coffee together with other people, to cup with other people, hearing their thoughts, anything that is said by another person can give you this thought that you didn't have, this finding, this education. So I would definitely recommend asking all the people you know. People that are completely not into coffee can have amazing insights in some flavors because it reminds them of some childhood experience. I had this one cupping experience where someone said, "This coffee reminds me of my childhood," but he couldn't say why. Another person said, "That is milk chocolate of Überraschungseier." And it said, oh, then it clicked, this is why. And this gave him the possibility to connect the flavor of milk chocolate to coffee. So I would definitely recommend asking anybody, ask me about anything, and together the learning is always so much bigger.
Okay, nice. And then, as you said, just trial and error, keep it dry. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, because at the end you will learn from each cup.
Yeah, look forward to all the mistakes you make. Yeah.
So what is now for you personally, what comes next? What is going to happen in the future?
The biggest project right now is obviously the World Brewers Cup in June in Brussels. Those will be quite stressful, require quite some focus and time and money. So that is the biggest project for now. And also I would like to give filter coffee courses in the next year to just give people some of the knowledge and the learnings that I had, especially as a home brewer, where you just think, I have so many problems and the people on stage, they brew so much better. This is not the case. People that brew coffee on stage, they probably have more problems and produce meaner brews than you do at home. So I would like to give that to the people doing filter coffee courses. But the World Brewers Cup right now is the biggest project,
Oh, great. And if people want to know more about you or follow you or then know about those courses that you are going to give, how can they find you?
I guess Instagram is, just write me. I'm always happy about contact. So Instagram is probably the best way.
Oh, good. Perfect. So I will put the links then also in the description. And by the way, also, if you're then interested in the Kaffelogic Nano 7, of course, we're also going to put the link in the description. We just now released an online course where you learn everything about the machine you need to know, but also about coffee roasting, about green coffee beans, about cupping, about the software, and everything is covered. So you have that in the description as well. But beside of that, now back to us, it's really, I really have to thank you for coming, for sharing all this information, for sharing your profile, but also your story. That's very inspiring, and thank you very much. And then, of course, good luck for Brussels.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a pleasure being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Urs.